Efforts to halt illegal logging are showing signs of success, but up to half of all timber still comes from illegal sources. Illegal logging robs governments and communities of the resources they depend on, damages forest ecosystems, accelerates climate change, and fuels conflict over land and resources. Illegal logging also makes it harder for law-abiding companies to do business. It is particularly difficult to stop in countries with high levels of corruption. So, what needs to change? What's required is strong forest governance. This means agreeing on who owns the forest and then improving the way forests are used and managed. To do this, governments, civil society and private sector need to work towards the same goal. They need to be clear about their roles and responsibilities and make information available to all. To be effective, a country's forest laws need to be endorsed by government, civil society and the private sector. Everyone should be involved in reviewing, writing or improving laws that fight corruption and protect the rights of communities that depend on forests. This helps to ensure laws are just and legitimate and that they recognise and protect the rights of forest communities. Forested countries and the European Union are implementing an action plan to combat illegal logging through forest law enforcement, governance and trade. Through FLEGT, the European Union enacted a regulation to ensure that only legal timber products are sold in its markets. FLEGT also kick-started efforts to create legally binding trade agreements between timber-producing countries and the European Union. Voluntary Partnership Agreements are based on consensus among government, civil society and private sector. They make it possible for all stakeholders to be directly involved in determining the policies that govern forests. When all these groups agree, decisions and laws are more likely to be implemented in the long run. The VPA process takes time, but along the way stakeholders work together to establish new standards of transparency and participation. This means greater legal clarity, which should benefit all for years to come. The challenge is putting FLEGT into practice. In the EU and forested countries, governments, civil society and the private sector must take action to detect, monitor, report and end illegal logging and associated trades. Together we can ensure that forests benefit us all.